I want to give everybody an update on this really, really tragic and a story that angers me, and I'm still so angered by it. A 1-year-old has lost his life because of the irresponsible behavior of not just the mother who was driving the car intoxicated, but the father as well. If you recall, this 23-year-old was supposed to, by the way, appear in court yesterday, and she missed her court appearance because of a medical issue, but the court is not saying what exactly that medical issue was. But here's something else that we're learning about this. We are learning that the father in this case, court records are showing that Hubbard Jones is on probation for a 2019 conviction. Wow, that's really recent. It's like a year ago. A 2019 conviction of battery with substantial bodily harm and battery constituting domestic violence for an attack on the mother. And we're learning this whole story came about, yes, she was drunk. It's her fault. But he's certainly responsible as well because they were race car driving. They were racing each other trying to get home. Who knows why? And who cares? The bottom line is that a 1-year-old is dead because of both of them and their irresponsible behavior. Prosecutors said in a criminal complaint filed in that case back that Hubbard Jones hit Priscilla in the face back in December 2018. For those of you out there that are saying, well, I wouldn't give him a stronger prison sentence because it's mainly her fault, give me a break. That's crap. I want both of these trashy people to be going away for decades behind bars. Now, I don't know if that's going to happen, but listen to this, too. I know that emotions are high, but they had a vigil last night. So they had a vigil at the spot, I believe it was at Buckskin Basin Park. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I've never been there. It's in Northwest Las Vegas. So they had this vigil. Now, why do you have a vigil? Now, correct me if I'm wrong, JD, but the reason why you have a vigil is to remember and honor and show your respects for those who lost their lives, right? In this case, a 1-year-old child who was completely innocent.
That is why you have a vigil, yeah.
That's why you have a vigil. People come together regardless of differences. You come together and you show your respects and you remember. And sadly, you only have 1 year of memories with this child because of this stupid parents, this stupid mother and father in this town. So they're having this vigil, both families. And towards the end of this vigil, some people in attendance were getting into heated verbal altercations with others, and it almost got physical. Remember, keep this in mind. It is a vigil for a 1-year-old child who died. And by the way, what could they be saying to one another? Both of these parents are responsible. He didn't do anything. She did it. No, she didn't do anything. He did it. I mean, let's talk about some of the dumbest people. I understand emotions are high. I get that. And for all intents and purposes, this guy was just a horrible scumbag. Horrible scumbag. And this mother,
had a pretty extensive criminal record.
And this mother is just an absolute dope. I tell you, man, I don't understand our justice system. I really don't. Because I can tell you right now, I think at maximum they'll both get 5 to 10. I don't think they're getting any more than that. And on good behavior, what is that? 4 years? 3 years? I don't understand our society and what I call it the injustice system.
I'm not certain that either of them will be able to display good behavior behind bars, Brian.
Yeah, but they're not going to get the sentence that they deserve. I can tell you that right now. I can tell you right now. Now, I've been honest about this. I think they should spend 30 to 40 years. I don't think they should ever get out of jail until they're old, like really old. But that's not going to happen. They're going to get a second chance at life. You know, this is where I agree with most Republicans when it comes to this stuff. I am all for capital punishment. I always have been. I always will be. It's one of the few things I agreed with George W. Bush. Put these people in the goddamn electric chair and get rid of them.
Well, I'll tell you this. There is someone that's being killed tomorrow in Iowa, or actually I think today in Iowa, that murdered 5 people. And there was a white supremacist that was killed last Friday in, I believe, Texas.
Good.
Yep.
I want them
gone. The Trump administration okayed those.
Well, I mean, I think if the I'm not saying this couple deserves the death penalty.
That's a total stretch.
But I do think, well, I mean, listen, I don't think it's a huge stretch when you're a mom and you kill your 1-year-old because
she should do 20 years and,
think that's enough.
And never drive again.
I don't think that's enough.
And he should do 5 to 10 years.
I think that's ridiculous.
And never, probably never drive again.
Not based on his criminal record.
Well, yeah, based on his record, he could do a lot more, significantly. I mean, he could do 30 years. He could do more time than she because of how extensive his criminal record actually is.
This man did absolutely nothing to stop her from her behavior. In fact, he helped perpetuate it. 20 years would be minimum in my mind for both of them. I don't think they should ever get out of jail until they are very, very old. That's just my personal opinion. But you know what? The way our justice system
And I'll back that.
The way our justice system works, it doesn't work that way. And I've talked about, DUIs.
Well, she's what, 27?
23.
23, so let's say she does 20 years.
It's not enough.
She's out at 43.
I don't think she deserves it.
Can't drive a car again.
Well, big deal. I don't think she deserves it. You know, I don't think she should be out in her early 40s, but I'm going to tell you what's going to happen here. You heard it first. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to this couple. I believe this woman might get maximum, and I'm talking maximum, maybe 10 years. Even if she gets 15 years, good behavior, she could be out in 6 years. Is that okay with anybody? And as far as this father goes, another scumbag, make no mistake about it, these two people are trash of the earth. They are trash of the earth. We're not even talking about going 75 miles an hour or 80 into 40, which, by the way, would be bad enough, especially when you're drunk. They were both going over 100 miles an hour. Police say the woman was going 123 miles an hour, and the father was going over 100. By the way, I'd like to know if he was tested for any drugs or alcohol, too. I wonder if they did that.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure they did.
I don't know if I'm not so sure if they did that.
Well, did he flee? Did he flee the accident?
No, he did not flee.
Okay, then I'm sure they tested him.
He gave statements, and he lied. And he said he was going 60, which is about 40 miles too short on that one. He claimed that she was going 80, which is over 40 miles short on that one. And didn't mention anything about the fact that they were racing each other, trying to get home. So he lied to police to try to cover things up while his 1-year-old child is lying dead in the road. It does not get any worse than that. It can't get worse than that. And the point I'm trying to make is one of the most selfish things you can do in society is drive drunk. Because you're not just putting you're not just putting yourself at risk, you're putting everyone else at risk. And that's what I talk about masks. And I understand that driving drunk is illegal.
I do want to tell you this. Joe Biden's niece has a DUI and his younger brother Frank has a DUI, and neither ever served time.
Okay, well, we could talk about a lot of people that have never served time. I wouldn't blame Joe Biden for that. Look at Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz never served time. Joe Biden never got a DUI. In fact, if you want to talk about anybody that has the most, I guess you could say, empathy for those that have died in car accidents, I think Joe Biden would probably be that guy, considering the fact that his first wife and his child died in a car accident. So if there is anybody that I trust when it comes to car accidents and drunk driving, it would certainly be Joe Biden over 99% of other politicians across the country. But again, and I'm going to bring this back because we got to take a break. I'm going to correlate this back to wearing a mask. When you go into businesses and you're around people and you don't wear a mask, you're playing Russian roulette with society. You're showing people that you don't care about other people. It is selfish. Same thing with drunk driving. When you get into a car and you're drunk, you are selfish. You're not just putting your life on the line. You are putting everyone else's lives on the line. And that is how I feel about drunk drivers. You are scum of the earth. I don't care if you've only had one. You are scum of the earth when you decide to get into your car drunk and you put everybody else's lives at risk. It is utterly disgusting.